The Herdmans were the worst kids in the whole history of the world. They lied and stole and smoked cigars, even the girls, and talked dirty and hit little kids and cussed their teachers and took the name of the Lord in vain and set fire to Fred Shoemaker's old broken-down tool house.
And that's not all. Somebody said 5 dozen donuts. Imagine, Maxine, 60 donuts for the firemen, and the Herdmans ate them all. And what they didn't eat, they stuffed in their pockets and down the front of their shirts.
And they wrote this really dirty word on Naomi Waddle's favorite turtle, so now she can take it to the YMCA pet show. You know, Alice, her mother once let her.
What was the word?
And that's not all. They did it with glow-in-the-dark paint, so when you can't even see the turtle, you can still see the word.
And that's not all. They put a whole bunch of tadpoles in the school drinking fountain. And Mrs. Barnes drank 2 or 3 by mistake. Someone yelled, "Mildred, stop! You're drinking tadpoles!" But it was too late.
Did she get sick?
Not right away.
And that's not all. Now I'm going to tell you about the Christmas pageant and what they did to that. There were 6 of them.
I'm Ralph.
I'm Imogene.
I'm Leroy.
And I'm Gladys.
And I'm Ollie.
And they went through our school like those South American fish that strip your bones clean. And they went around town the same way, stealing things and tearing things up and whamming kids. So there was only one safe place.
Sweet hour of prayer, sweet hour of prayer, because there are no herdmans there, but Jesus loves us as they say, because he keeps the miles away.
That's my little brother Charlie. And that's what he said when the Sunday school teacher asked him what his favorite thing about church was. And Charlie said, "No herdmans." And that made the teacher mad, because all the other kids had said nice things about God and Jesus and good feeling. But old Charlie told the real truth. No herdmans.
I don't care what everyone else said. That's what they really thought. All that other stuff is okay, but the main good thing about church is that the herdmans aren't there, ever.
That's not a very Christian sentiment.
It's a very practical sentiment. Charlie was black and blue all last year because he had to sit next to Leroy Herdman in school.
Is he the worst one, Leroy?
They're all the worst ones.
Ralph's the biggest, so if Ralph gets you,
That doesn't make any difference. Gladys isn't big, but she's fast, and she's mean, and she bites.
I'm sorry I asked. Just stay away from all of them.
That's what I said. Stay away from them. Go to church.
I'm glad to hear you feel that way.
Why?
No arguments this year about the Christmas pageant.
I don't want to be a shepherd again.
Then tell Mrs. Armstrong you want to be a wise man.
I don't want to be in it.
But everybody is in it. Think how I would feel sitting there on Christmas Eve if my own children weren't in the pageant. Think about how your father would feel. You'd feel terrible, wouldn't you, Bob?
Well, I didn't plan to go there because you know how crowded it is. They can use my seat. I'll just stay at home, put on my bathrobe, relax. There's never anything different about the Christmas pageant.
Well, there's going to be something different this year.
What?
Charlie is going to be wearing your bathrobe.
Leave me out of this, Mom.
You just started the race.
why don't you be Joseph? Elmer Hopkins will pay you $1 to be Joseph. He's sick of being Joseph all the time just because his father's the minister.
Nobody wants to be in it.
What are you going to be this year, Beth?
I'm always in the angel choir.
Well, can Charlie be in the angel choir?
Because I can't sing?
For From what I've heard in the past, that's not a very serious drawback. Owning a manger always sounds like a closet full of mice.
What do we wear in the angel choir, Beth?
Bed sheets.
Oh boy, some choice. A bathrobe or a bed sheet. Come on, let's go play video games.
You know, Mrs. Armstrong works very hard to give everyone a lovely experience.
Oh, Mom, Mrs. Armstrong just likes to run things.
She's right, of course. Mrs. Armstrong directs the Christmas pageant. She's in charge of the bazaar. She's in charge of the potluck. Why, I think Helen Armstrong would preach the sermon if anyone would let her.
Is she the George Armstrong's wife?
Yes.
Well, she'll try to manage the hospital because that's where she is.
What?
I saw George at the drugstore and he said his wife broke her leg this morning. She will be in traction for 2 weeks and led up to the first of the year.
The first of the year? Well, they'll have to cancel Christmas.
She's in charge of Christmas?
She directs the Christmas pageant. She's in charge of the bazaar. I feel sorry for Helen, but who is going to do all those things?
Yes, Edna, I can take the bazaar, as long as if you get the potluck. But I don't know what we're going to do about the Christmas pageant. Wait, how about Grace?
I just can't, Edna. I've got company all Christmas week. How about Grace?
Hello? Grace?
Bob?
What?
Bob!
What?
I have to direct the Christmas pageant.
But then you have to go.
Our Christmas pageant isn't what you'd call a 4-star entertainment. Mrs. Armstrong breaking her leg was the only unexpected thing that ever happened to it. It was always the same old Christmas story and the same old carols and the same old Mary and Joseph. And that's what my mother was stuck with. That and Mrs. Armstrong.
Tell you again, Grace, how important it is to give everyone a chance. Here's what I do. I always start with Mary, and I tell them we must choose Mary carefully because she was the mother of Jesus.
I know that, Helen.
Yes, and then I tell them about Joseph, that he was God's choice to be Jesus' father.
I thought Mrs. Armstrong was in traction. How can she talk on the phone if she's in traction?
What do you think traction is?
Like when they put you to sleep?
No such luck. We need salt and pepper and napkins.
And I tell them there are no small pots, only small actors.
You will leave some for the rest of us, won't you, Charlie?
I'm hungry. Leroy Herdman stole my lunch again.
How can you let him do that to you day after day?
How can I stop him? Where's the chicken?
Grace, where's the chicken?
Still in the oven.
I'll go get it.
And you need to get somebody to put the baby angels on. Push the baby angels on. Otherwise, they get in each other's way and bend their wings.
Oh, Helen, I have to go. There's someone at my door.
Bob can do that. He can push on the baby, the shepherds too.
I have to go. There's someone at my door. Talk to you later.
Lady, can you give me some supper? I haven't had a square meal for 3 days.
Oh, for Pete's sake, it's you.
I was very lonely at the table.
Well, I guess Helen feels lonely at the hospital.
Not as long as the telephones are working.
I bet she told you that there are no small parts, only small actors.
And to get someone to push the baby angels on and make the shepherds shut up.
Yes, and she suggested your father.
Does that mean I have to go?
My mother didn't pay much attention to Mrs. Armstrong. She said that Mrs. Armstrong was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do but think up problems, and that there wouldn't be any problems. But of course, My mother didn't count on the Herdmans. That was Charlie's fault.
Don't stress anybody's been for Jesus. Get a quiet one. Better yet, get you the kid. If the phone is pussy, you can always switch them.
Hey, Leroy, give me back my lunch.
Here, sure, kid.
You stole my dessert again.
How do you know?
Because it isn't in here?
What was it?
A choco pie.
That's right.
Hey, Leroy, you think it's so great to steal my dessert every day? Well, I don't care. I'll even give you my dessert. I get all the dessert I want in Sunday school.
What kind of dessert?
All kind. M&Ms and Skittles. We get refreshments all the time. All we want.
You're a liar.
And cookies and ice cream.
Who gives it to you?
The minister.
Why is he crazy?
No, he's rich.
Huh.
That was the wrong thing to tell a herdman. And sure enough, the very next Sunday, there they were, all 6 of them in Sunday school, just in time to hear about the Christmas pageant.
What's a pageant? It's a play, like on TV. What's it about? It's about Jesus.
Everything here is.
And it's about Mary. Mostly it's about Mary.
Who's Mary?
I am. Well, probably I am. I know the part. We'll see.
Beth? Charlie? Diana? Come. Now, this won't take too long if you'll all settle down. Today we're going to decide who is going to play the main parts in our Christmas pageant. But of course, everyone will have an important part to play. You know what Mrs. Armstrong always tells you? There are no small parts, only small actors.
That's what she always says, but she never says what it means.
Well, don't you know what it means, Elmer?
I know what it means. It means short kids have to be in the front row or else nobody can see them.
Well, not exactly. Actually, it means that the littlest baby angel is just as important as Mary.
I don't think anyone is as important as Mary.
Well, naturally, that's what you think, Alice, but I think Jesus is more important.
And I still think it means short kids have to be in the front row.
Girls, 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 everyone is important. Mary, Jesus, and the short kids. Now, is everyone here? Beverly, will you step into the hall and see if anyone is coming?
Sure.
Now, you little children will be our baby angels, so please remind your mothers that you'll need bed sheets. People in the angel choir will also need bed sheets. Now, what's the matter with all of you? Well, let's just make some room for the Herdmans. Now, what happened to Beverly?
I think she got sick. I think she went home.
Did she say she was sick?
She just left. All I did was I just say, "Hi, Beverly," and she just left.
I see. Well, will someone please tell Beverly about the rehearsals the next 4 Wednesdays after school? Plan to be there for everyone.
What if we get sick?
You won't get sick. You won't get sick, Elmer. Of course, Mary and Joseph must absolutely come to every rehearsal.
What if they get sick?
They won't get sick either, Elmer.
Well, Beverly got sick and we didn't even start yet.
Okay, we don't know that Beverly got sick. Now I want you all to think about Mary. She was gentle and kind, and the person who plays that part should be that kind of person. Do we have any volunteers? Did you have a question, Imogene?
No, I want to be Mary. And Ralph is there, he wants to be Joseph.
Yeah, right.
Well, I'll just make a list, and then we'll all decide who it should be. So, Ralph here has volunteered to be Joseph. Do we have any other volunteers for the part? Any of you shepherds? Very well then, Ralph Herdman will be our Joseph. And Imogene has volunteered to be Mary. Just write that down. Any other names I can put on the list? Janet? Roberta? Alice? Don't you want to be Mary?
No, I don't want to.
I'll be Mary.
Shut up, Gladys. I'm already Mary. You be a wise man.
Well, the wise men are usually boys, but we could make an exception.
I'll be a wise man.
Me too. God, you want to be a wise man? Raise your hand.
Just raise your hand.
What's left to be?
Some angel.
I'll be what? What is it?
It's the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherds. There, we do have some volunteers after all. Yes, Hobie? Would you like to be a wise man?
No, I just want to say I can't be a wise man. We're going to Moscow.
Why didn't you say so before?
I just remembered.
Amela doesn't want me to be a shepherd.
Why not?
I don't know. She just said don't be a shepherd.
Oh, yes, you are. What's the matter with all of you?
I don't want to be a shepherd. Gladys Herdman hits it too hard.
Why, Gladys isn't going to hit anybody. The angel of the Lord just comes and tells the shepherds that Jesus is born.
And she hits them.
That's enough. I don't want to hear another word about it. Not from you, not from anyone. No shepherds may quit or get sick. Now, that's all for today. You can all go. But please be here next Wednesday after school. Plan to be here for everyone. Alice, why in the world didn't you raise your hand?
I don't know.
Gladys, Alice, I expected you to volunteer.
Mrs. Bradley, get Gladys off me!
Don't you want to be Mary?
Mrs. Bradley! Oh, come on, Alice. I don't know.
I didn't dare raise my hand. Imogene would have killed me. She said, I'm going to be Mary in this Christmas pageant. If you raise your hand or open your mouth, you'll wish you didn't. And I said, I'm always Mary in the Christmas pageant. And she said, go ahead then, and next spring when the pussy willows come out, I'll stick a pussy willow so far down your ear that nobody can reach it. And it'll sprout and grow, and you'll spend the rest of your life with a pussy willow bush growing out of your ear.
You know she wouldn't do that.
She would too. The Hermans would do anything. You just watch. They'll do something terrible and ruin the whole Christmas pageant. And it's all your mother's fault.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Jane and McCarthy, did you hear about? Well, it must be Grace's fault somehow. How old is the 6th of the end of the Christmas pageant when they ought to be in the jail?
Verna, Irma Slocum, I was just coming here to check in that Imogene Herdman is Mary in the Christmas pageant? And is this fact all 6 of them? I live next door to that outfit. I'd rather live next door to a zoo.
Where did they come from? Who let them in? Imogene Herdman? What kind of child is that to be Mary, the mother of Jesus? Where was Reverend Hopkins? I'd like to know. He was what? Visiting shut-ins? I'm shut-in and he was not visiting me? Oh, no.
I said, why don't you let them hand out the programs at the door? Grace says we never had programs for pageant, but I
Better
said...
nail down the church, lock up the silver services, and hide the collection plates before they wake them all out. What was the matter with Grace? Couldn't she have sent them away, tell them to go home? Oh, if they were responsible, if I'd been up and around, this never would have happened. I don't know.
been around, this never would have happened. Well, let me tell you.
Don't tell me I'm on your side, the cards over there.
Helen Armstrong's not the only woman alive who can run a Christmas pageant. I made up my mind to do the best I could under the circumstances, but now I'm going to make it the best Christmas pageant ever, and I'm going to do it with the Herdmans. After all, they raised their hand, and nobody else did, and I don't care if...
Good for you. Grace, the cards over there.
And you are going to help me.
Does that mean...
You have to go. So, the inn is over here, and the shepherds come in from over here and gather around the manger here.
It's like a motel where people go to spend the night.
Oh, honestly, Jesus wasn't even born yet. Mary and Joseph went there.
Why?
To pay their taxes.
At the motel?
Shut up, Ollie. Everybody shut up. I want to hear her. Begin at the beginning.
The beginning?
The beginning of the play. What happens first?
Imogen, this is the Christmas story from the Bible. Haven't you ever heard the Christmas story from the Bible? Well, that's what this Christmas pageant is, so I'd better read it to you.
I don't believe that, do you? That they never heard the Christmas story?
Why not? They don't even know what a Bible is, and they never went to church in their whole life till your dumb brother told them we've got refreshments. Now we've got to waste all this time for nothing.
Now, in the days of Caesar Augustus, a decree went out that all the world should be taxed. So Joseph went up from Galilee with his wife Mary, being great with child.
Pregnant. She was pregnant.
Okay, that's enough. We all know Mary was pregnant. And while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered, and she gave birth and brought forth her firstborn son.
I don't think it's very nice to say Mary was pregnant. I think it's better to say great with child. I'm not supposed to talk about people being pregnant, especially in church.
Wrapped him in swaddling clothes and laid him in a manger because there was no room for him in the inn.
No way. They didn't have room for Jesus?
Well, nobody knew the baby was going to be Jesus.
Did Mary know? Didn't he know? What was the matter with Joseph that he didn't tell them? Her pregnant and everything?
What's a manger? Some kind of bed?
Well, they didn't have a bed in the barn, so they had to use whatever they could. What would you do if you had a newborn baby and no bed to put the baby in?
We put Gladys in a dresser drawer.
Well, there you are. You didn't have a bed for Gladys, so you used something else.
Well, we had a bed. Just that Ollie was in it, and she didn't like Gladys, and she wouldn't get out. Remember, Ollie? You didn't like Gladys?
That was pretty smart of Ollie not to like Gladys right off the bat.
And there were shepherds keeping watch over their flocks by night, when lo, the angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the...
Shazam!
What?
Out of the black night with horrible vengeance.
I don't know what you're talking about, Gladys.
The mighty Marvel in Amazing Comics.
This is the angel of the Lord who brought the good news to the shepherds.
Out of nowhere, right? In the black night, right?
Well, in a way.
Shazam!
Okay, go take your seat. Now, when Jesus had been born, there came wise men from the east, bearing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh.
What's that?
They were special things, precious oils and...
Oil? What kind of present is oil? We get better presents from the welfare.
Were they the welfare? The wise men?
No, they were kings, and they were sent
Well,
by...
it's about time somebody important showed up. If they were kings, they can get the baby out of the barn and tell the innkeeper where to get off.
No, they were kings, and they were sent by Herod, who was the main king. He wanted Jesus put to death.
No way, he was just born. They're gonna kill a baby?
Who's Herod in the play?
Herod isn't in the play.
What? You mean he's out to kill the baby and he's not even in the play?
Well, somebody better be Herod. Let Charlie be Herod. And he says, get me that baby. And we say okay because he's the king and all.
But then it's yours to go back and get Herod.
I'm not gonna be Herod.
No one is going to be Herod.
No. Joseph goes against the shepherds and they go wipe out Herod.
See, they're gonna put somebody in, and it'll be me, and I'll get killed.
There is no Herod. Forget about Herod.
And I'll run away with the baby till the fight's over.
Somebody has to get the innkeeper. Gladys, you get the innkeeper.
I can't. I'm an angel.
Well, I would just hang around the barn. I'd get a room. Well, if there wasn't any room, then I'd kick somebody out. I'd tell them, I got this baby, and it's the middle of winter, so either get out or move over.
I'd go after old Herod.
I'd send the angel after her. She could just point her electric finger and turn them into a pile of ashes.
Yeah, Zab.
What's the name of this play? She never said. Christmas pageant? That's no name. That's what it is.
I know a name. I call that Revenge at Bethlehem.
Yeah!
Revenge at Bethlehem? The Herdmans thought the Christmas story came right out of the FBI files. At least they picked out the right villain. It was Herod they wanted to gang up on, and not the baby Jesus. But baby Jesus quit the pageant anyway. It was supposed to be Eugene Slocum, but Mrs. Slocum said she wasn't going to let Imogene Herdman get her hands on him. So we didn't have a baby, and that bothered my mother. She kept trying to scratch up a baby, even at the last rehearsal. What's that notebook you keep writing in?
It's like a diary.
It's not. It's all about the Herdmans. Imogene curses and swears all the time. Ralph talks about inappropriate things. Mrs. Bradley called Mary pregnant. Well, she was pregnant. Gladys Herdman drinks communion wine. It isn't wine, it's grape juice.
I don't care what it is. I've seen her 3 times with her mouth all purple, and that's not all. If you shake the birthday bank, it'd make no sound because they stole all the pennies out of it. And every time you go into the ladies' room, the whole air is blue. And Imogene Herdman is sitting there in her Mary costume, smoking cigars.
And you wrote all that down? What for?
For my mother and Reverend Hopkins and the Ladies' Aid Society, and anybody else who wants to know what happened when the whole Christmas pageant turned out to be a big mess.
So, this is our last rehearsal, and we are going to...
Grace, I just wanted to tell that we are all back in the kitchen. We tried to not bother you. I guess this is your dress rehearsal.
It's supposed to be. Oh, Edna, didn't I hear your niece had a baby a month or so ago? A little girl?
Yes, she's 5 weeks old and...
I wonder how would it be if I were to call your niece and see if we could...
Grace, no! I could make up some lies and tell that the baby's sick or cranky, but the truth is she's perfectly beautiful and healthy and happy, and we all want her to stay that way. So we're certainly not going to hand over her to Imogen Herdman. Sorry, Grace.
Mrs. Bradley, you can use... Mrs. Bradley, you can use my baby brother for Jesus.
I didn't know you had a new baby brother, David. Diana?
He's not new. He's 4 years old, but he's double jointed and can probably scrunch up.
Well, I don't think.
I'll get us a baby.
How can you do that?
There are always 2 or 3 babies in carriages outside the supermarket. I'll get one for you.
Imogen, you can't just run off with somebody's baby. We'll just use the doll.
Yeah, a doll's better anyway. A doll can't bite.
And, Imogen, you know, Mary didn't wear earrings.
I have to wear these. I got my ears pierced, and if I don't keep something in them, they'll grow together.
Not in an hour and a half. What did the doctor tell you?
What doctor?
Who pierced your ears?
Gladys.
I'll bet she did with the ice pick, and soon enough, Imogen's ears will turn black and fall off.
Well, we'll just find something smaller to wear. Is that your costume? You all were supposed to be wearing your costumes today.
My mother doesn't have any white sheets. And I wear sheets with snowflakes on it.
I don't have a costume. I've never shepherded before.
You have to wear your dad's bathrobe. That's what I do.
He doesn't have any.
What does he hang around the house in?
His underwear.
Are we going through the whole thing?
Yes, but first we'll practice just the entrances so you all know where you're supposed to be. You can all go backstage except for the angels and Mary and Joseph. Just read the last few words, Maxine.
When the shepherds watch their flocks by night.
Music, shepherds!
The shepherds watch their flocks by night, all seated on the ground.
Enough.
And the angel of the Lord appeared to them, and
Shazam! No, Gladys, you don't say anything.
a multitude of heavenly hosts.
Music, angels.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains.
Music, wise men.
We 3 kings of Orient are, bearing gifts we travel afar. Field and fountain, moor and mountains, following your. Don't touch him. I named him Jesus.
No, Imogen, you don't say anything. Mary doesn't say anything.
Why didn't they let her name her own baby? I would have named him Bill.
What a terrible thing to say.
What angel was that? Was it you, Gladys?
No, it was the angel of the Lord.
Yes, unto you a child is born.
Unto me, not them, me. I'm the one who has the baby.
No, it means unto all of us a child is born.
What'd they do? Just walk up and say, name him Jesus.
Yes.
I know what the angel of the Lord said. He said, his name shall be called Wonderful, Mighty God, Counselor, the Prince of Peace, and Father Everlasting.
Yeah, right. He never got out of first grade if he had to write all that.
Why did you have to say all that? We'll never get out of here. Nobody asked you to, Alice.
I need a drink of water.
Me too. We're going to go to the bathroom. Be back in a minute.
Mrs. Bradley, what should I do? Should I start over?
5 minutes, Maxine, 5 minutes.
We never did start over. And we never did get through the whole thing. 5 minutes turned into 15 minutes. And Imogen Herdman spent the whole time smoking cigars in the ladies' room. And then Mrs. McCarthy went into the ladies' room and saw all the smoke and called the fire department. And they came right away.
Fire! There's fire!
Take the big house in the side. The place is full of kids. Get the kids out. Get everybody out. It starts the fire started first floor.
They cleared everyone out of the building and dragged the fire hose through the church, looking for a fire to put out. But the only one they found was in the kitchen. All that applesauce cake burned up. And of course, the ladies were mad about that, and Mrs. McCarthy was mad, and my mother was mad.
Why in the world did you call the fire department about a little smoke?
There was a lot of smoke. The ladies' room was full of smoke.
It couldn't have been. You just got excited. And now look, the street is full of baby angels crying, the church is full of firemen, and shepherds are climbing all over the fire truck. Didn't you know it was just a little cigar smoke?
I don't know the cigar smoke. I don't expect to find cigar smoke in the ladies' room of the church.
And Alice's mother was mad, and the Ladies' Aid Society was mad, and Reverend Hopkins said he didn't know what to think.
I've been on the phone all day, and I can't make heads or tails of it. Somebody said they set fire to the ladies' room. Somebody else said they set fire to the kitchen. And Beryl Windlekin keeps saying they talk about pregnancy and underwear.
That was Hobie Clark talking about underwear. And they didn't set fire to anything. The only fire was in the kitchen, where the applesauce cake burned up.
Well, the whole church is in uproar. You know, Grace, Jesus said, "Suffer these little children to come unto me." But do you really think he meant the Herdmans? Grace, don't you think we should just cancel the Christmas pageants?
I'll bet that was Edna McCarthy's idea.
We can blame it on the fire, make a good excuse.
And I'll bet that was Helen Armstrong's idea.
It's just everyone thinks it's going to be a
disaster? Well, they're wrong. It's going to be the best Christmas pageant we ever had.
I just don't think anyone's going to come see it.
I didn't either, and neither did Charlie. But we were wrong. On Christmas Eve, the church was full of people. Everybody came to see what the Herdmans would do.
Just wait till I turn the lights on. Watch your step.
I can't even see where I'm going. I don't know what in the world you expect to do with this thing.
I thought it might look like a palm tree. I see now that it doesn't. Oh, I don't have any idea what's going to happen tonight. We've never once gone through the whole thing, and the Herdmans still think it's some kind of spy story. Where are the kids?
All the kids in the world are down in the basement putting on bed sheets.
I mean our kids. We're here. Go get your costumes on. They're going to look just awful, you know, Mary and Joseph. All dirty and fastened together with safety pins, wearing their old, moldy sneakers. They look like refugees or something.
Well, that's what they were, Mary and Joseph. They were refugees in a way. They were far away from home. They didn't have any place to stay, didn't know anybody. They were probably cold and hungry and tired and messy.
I don't know about cold and hungry, but they sure are messy.
Oh dear, do you think I should?
I think you worry too much. Now, I'm going to push the baby angel on the stage. When do I do that?
Just follow the script.
Baby angel, shepherd, wise man. It doesn't say here where the fire engines come in.
Very funny.
Just kidding.
Okay, you can all come on stage now. I just want to see how you look. Gladys, where is Where's your halo?
Or get buried. Listen, to say something besides the baby can. Why would they all get up and tear off after some baby they don't even know? I ought to tell them it's Jesus and where he is.
No, Gladys, you just say, unto you a child is born, and that's all you need to tell them. Now you can all go backstage, but please try to be quiet while people are coming. Good luck.
Mrs. Bradley, actors don't say good luck. They say break a leg.
I know, Alice, but in this case, I don't think, for those of you who don't know what it means, it's just a theatrical saying. It doesn't really mean to break your leg, your own or anyone else's. And Imogene, please try to remember that this is a baby. And for tonight anyway, it's the baby Jesus.
In the days of Caesar Augustus, a decree went out that all the world should be taxed. So Joseph went to Bethlehem with Mary his wife, who was great with child. And while they were there, she brought forth her new firstborn child, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
Don't they look awful? And what's she doing with a baby? I don't think it's very nice of her baby Jesus, as if he had colic.
Well, he could have had colic just like any other baby.
I don't care. It looks awful. They look awful.
So what? They've come a long way, they don't have any place to stay, and they've got a new baby to worry about.
Who? Ralph and Imogen?
No, Mary and Joseph.
In their region, there were shepherds in the field, keeping watch over their flocks by night.
And
And the angel of the Lord appeared to them. An angel of the Lord appeared to them. The glory of the Lord shone round about, and they were sore afraid when the angel of the Lord appeared to them and said, "Be not."
Shazam! Unto you a child is born. He's in the barn. Go see him. Faster, go.
And suddenly there was a multitude of heavenly hosts, saying, "Glory to God in the highest, on earth peace among men." When Jesus was born, there came wise men from the east to worship him, bringing gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh.
Don't they look awful too? And what's that Leroy's got?
It's a ham.
A ham? I'll bet they stole it.
No, I think it's the ham from their welfare basket.
You mean it's their own ham? They must hate ham.
Well, even if they hate ham, Alice, it's the only thing they've ever given away in their entire lives.
Being warned in a dream that they should not return to their own country, The wise men departed another way. The shepherds also departed another way, praising God for all that they had seen and heard. But Mary kept all these things in her heart and pondered them in her heart.
Mrs. Bradley, look, Mary's crying.
Could you believe that was Emoji Herdman and rest of them? Irma, that was the best Christmas pageant we ever had, and I don't know why, but it was that. Could that be?
Oh, I always get a little weepy at the pageants. I guess it's a kid and the carols and all that. But you're right, this was the best, and it should have been the worst.
But there was just something different.
Well, the angel of the Lord was certainly different.
Yes, but you know, I like that. Lots of spirit. Sometimes we can even hear the angel of the Lord. I must find Grace and tell her.
Now I just wish I'd let dear baby Eugene be Jesus in the Christmas pageant.
Who was the baby Jesus?
It was a doll.
No, Irma, that was no doll.
It did seem real.
Real, as if it might have happened just that way. We all thought the pageant was about Jesus, but that was only a part of it. It was about a new baby and his mother and father who were in a whole lot of trouble. No money, no place to go, no doctor, nobody they knew. And then from the east, like my uncle from New Jersey, some rich friends came. But because of the Herdmans, it was a whole new story. Imogene burping the baby, the wise men bringing such a sensible present. After all, they couldn't eat frankincense. And even Gladys. He's in the barn. Go see him. So the shepherds didn't have to stumble around all over the countryside. But I guess it wasn't like that for Imogene. For her, the pageant turned out to be all wonder and mystery, as if she had just caught on to what Christmas was really about. After it was over, we had a party in the basement, but the Herdmans didn't stay. They didn't have any cocoa, and they didn't walk off with all the cookies, and they didn't even take their candy canes.
I guess it's about it. And the kids left downstairs?
No, they all went home. You know you're still wearing your bathrobe. You aren't going to wear that in public, are you?
Well, why not? Maybe people will think I was a shepherd this Christmas pageant.
Yeah, you should. When it was over, some old lady came up and hugged me because I was a shepherd. What should we do with that ham?
It's the herdman's ham from the welfare basket. But they wouldn't take it back. Leroy said, it's a present. You don't take back a present.
Leroy said that? They must hate ham.
You and Alice Wendelkin.
What about the lights?
They're on a timer. They'll go off at midnight.
Let's not far away. It's almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas, kids.
Almost Christmas, Charlie. And it came to pass in the days of, and there were shepherds abiding, a multitude praising God. I bring you good tidings of great joy.
Hey! Unto you a child is born.